Welcome to Seymour from the Front Pew podcast, coming to you from the broadcast studio at Seymour First Baptist Church in Seymour, Tennessee, and featuring thoughts and discussions around loving God, loving others, making disciples, and living the life. I am your host, Tiger Brooks, and now, on to the podcast. On to the podcast we go. Welcome back to Seymour from the Front Pew. As I just told you, I am your host, Tiger Brooks, here with the four pastors. I guess three pastors and me.
I automatically thought I was the one getting
Three pastors and me.
When you say, when you open
three other guys.
When you open that thing and you say, as I just said, do you feel like you're talking in the third person?
Yeah.
Because it's pre-recorded? You're like, Tiger likes.
Yes. Tiger's going to introduce these guys now. We have, as always, well, not always. We can't say that.
Yeah.
He's always our lead pastor, but he's not always here. Pastor Corey Kane.
Good morning.
We have Pastor Austin Clark.
Can we get walk-up songs for when you do this?
That would be cool. That would be that's the next iteration. We need to work on that. And then we have Pastor Jason Vineyard.
Good morning.
And so this is going to be kind of an all-encompassing episode in which we reflect for a moment about our Thanksgivings. We look forward to some Christmas traditions that each of our families hold to, and we're going to talk about some upcoming things at Seymour First Baptist Church that may or may not, they definitely will give you an opportunity to reach out to maybe that neighbor or that family member that you've been wanting to talk about Jesus or invite to church. We're going to give you some opportunities to do that in the coming weeks, and so we're going to try to squeeze all that in. So first, about your Thanksgivings, I shall start. So my new Thanksgiving tradition, I guess, would be traveling back to my sister's house, which is not too far away. It's up in Johnson City, which is about an hour and a half drive from here. And we meet with my cousin and his family, my sister and her family, and my family. And it was interesting. My sister, her mother-in-law is with her for a period of time. She's been there for a while. She's kind of in the same situation as we are with Mama Marie at the house. But Jean is her name, and Jean has really not been doing well. She's borderline hospice care. And so it's not funny at all. But if you knew Jean, you know that she is a pistol. She is one of those ladies. She grew up, she was born in Mississippi, lived her life in West Tennessee in Dyer County. And so that places it well for you two guys. But Jean has no filter whatsoever. She is one of those that just, hey, you've gained weight. You're getting fat, ain't you? That kind of thing.
Is she and Austin related?
Yeah. If only I had hold on, wait for it.
The delay.
If only I had that for Thanksgiving, that would have been good. But anyway, Jean's not been doing well. She's on 24-hour oxygen, things like that. And people listen to this, how cruel, how are you saying? It's just the reality of it. So when I went in to say hi. It's been a minute since she's seen me, but she had forgotten that I have a rather large beard. She hates beards. And so she looked at me. Now, my brother-in-law he's a retired police officer. He was career police. So he, for years, had the classic police officer mustache, but not. He looked in his younger days. He looked spitting image of Tom Selleck. It was really kind of funny. Anyway, now he's got a beard, and it's salt and pepper and stuff, but it's not anywhere close to mine. And so when I went in and say hi, she goes, "What's that on your face?" And she starts gesturing with her hand, like wiping my face off. Wipe that stuff off your face. And so that's how my Thanksgiving started.
You just described every Sunday morning for me.
Yeah.
The last 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see?
And for those of you not watching on YouTube, Pastor Corey has a bit of a baby beard coming.
Baby beard.
It's a baby beard coming along, and it's coming in. It's coming in well.
Yeah.
It's coming along.
Yeah, about the time it gets there, I'll shave it off.
No.
He's already made it farther than I anticipated, so I'm proud of him.
He did.
Anyway,
It's just out of spite. Everybody that's like, you're not going to grow a beard. He's like, yes, I am.
yeah, that's it.
Not right.
That's it. So we are fully bearded here around the table.
It's funny. Nobody said anything to me. Have they said anything to you about growing a beard in church?
Well, he's always
Yeah.
had something on his face.
Yeah, but if they're saying
people
something to
have.
Corey, it's a
But you grow yours about every
year.
winter, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think people kind of expect it's coming for you.
They know your cycle.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough of that. Back to my traditions at Thanksgiving. Should I? Yeah, you got him. You got him. Thank you. Corey's on the board.
So this is what happens when we don't have a real.
We had fantastic food. Fantastic food. We had everything.
Yeah.
Turkey, ham. My sister makes a fantastic carrot souffle, which puts you in a mind of a sweet potato casserole. It's kind of a sweet
Sweet carrots.
entree. It's fabulous. All the desserts, sourdough bread rolls, green bean casserole, corn. Now, there used to be a restaurant in Kingsport called Scobie's. Scobie's had a wonderful cream corn, like a baked cream corn side dish that was stellar. And my sister got that recipe and made it for Thanksgiving. It was fantastic. And anyway,
Yeah.
great times, good times with the family, fellowship, seeing my little niece and nephew, great niece and nephew, and playing with them. That was good. That was me.
So we ended up. We tend to see everybody every holiday, or at least Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's kind of something we had decided we would do as long as we could, is see everybody. But as we moved here, it just like you, kind of traditions change or whatever else. And so Melody's family comes here to us for Thanksgiving, which is different. We'd always gone to their house and or to a lodge. We'd rented a lodge for several years. But so we ended up having 20 something at our house for Thanksgiving, and all stayed at the house. And then we got to see our nephew who's a Marine. And so we were excited that he got to come and be with us for Thanksgiving. And we did Dollywood and all the food and all that stuff or whatever. So really had a good time. And then we travel to Henry County for a couple days. And again, even there, a little different. Normally I go there and do Thanksgiving with my mom and my sister, and then we'll travel to Middle Tennessee and do it with my dad and my sister. And but this year, my dad's wife passed away in the last year, and so we kind of altered, and Dad came to Paris, and so we did all of it there, which actually cut down our travel just a little bit.
Yeah.
We were at least able to stay in one place for a couple of days or whatever else. And so, yeah, went well and enjoyed and had a good visit and all that stuff. And so a lot of times it involves high school football, which I love, right? I mean, but of course, well, anyway, playoff football, and Henry County got put out last week, so we didn't watch football on Friday night, but that's okay. So
Thanksgiving. What day did you go to Dollywood?
We went to Dollywood on
Wednesday. You
Wednesday.
went on Wednesday.
We went on
So Wednesday.
Yeah.
The Wednesday.
Yes, right. Yeah, it started out
You
in the rain.
and 4 million of your own.
So the rain helped slow it down just a little bit. So it was raining in the morning, but since we've been here, we've been to Dollywood quite a few times. We have not done any shows, and so like we started the day and did 2 shows just so we could get out of the rain, and really kind of enjoyed it. So anyway, it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Austin.
So we had Leah's mother was here the week before Thanksgiving, so we did a modified Thanksgiving. Leah made gumbo.
Oh, that's a fantastic.
Traditional Thanksgiving gumbo. But it was good. But then for Thanksgiving, all my family came in, so we there's not like a tradition, like a set come here, come there. It's just we figure out who's where, what year, and all that stuff. And my sister and brother-in-law just moved, so yeah. So we couldn't go to their house really. They're still working on their house. So everybody came here.
So your sister and everybody came here.
My sister, so it's just my parents, and then my sister and her husband and 4 kids and 2 dogs. So it was, there was 13 of us in the house plus 4 dogs.
So was it kind of like the day before travel in Home Alone?
That's exactly what I have described it as.
It's where everybody's running around, yelling at each other.
It's just whatever. So our house has a basement. That's where the boys live. And so for when we all get the family together, we just put all the kids down there and just survival of the fittest. So anyway, we had a good time. They all got in and smoked a brisket, and everybody ate brisket for Wednesday night, and then did all the Thanksgiving, all the beige foods.
Did you smoke a turkey?
I did. I smoked a turkey. It was good.
Beige foods. Earth tone foods for
It is
Thanksgiving.
earth tone foods. I laugh about it, but yeah, because everything's a casserole.
Stuffing.
Yeah, it's all in the beige family.
Yeah, gravy.
So Leah bought me last year for right after Thanksgiving. She bought me a gift, and it's like a serving platter. It's like one that you see that has maybe ranch dip in the middle, and then it has all the compartments around it for carrots and that you would see on a serving table. She bought me one to be my plate for Thanksgiving.
Oh my!
I don't like food touching me.
Yeah,
And so I had
hilarious.
a platter, yay big, with all the compartments.
Of course you did.
I even had one for my white meat, and one for my dark meat, and one for my ham. It was
Are there
perfect.
pictures of this? There's got to be pictures
I think my sister
of
took a
this.
picture. So anyway, we had a big old time, and then of course took the traditional Thanksgiving nap, and played a little football in our neighbor's yard, and I hit Everett in the face with a football, so it busted his lip. So that's good. But anyway, yeah, we had a good time. So we did. Once everybody left town, we were like, all right, I'm tired of cleaning this kitchen over and over and over again. We went and saw a movie for the first time in like a year. Literally a year. The last time I went to a movie was with Tiger.
I was a third wheel. He was Austin, Leah, and me.
So anyway.
You're going to have to explain that eventually.
Well, anyway.
Well, y'all had your chance, and you went to bed.
That's right. But yeah, we went and saw a movie. Went and saw a new little Trolls movie, and yeah, it's been a nice little break. So
Very cool. Jason?
Yeah, so ours was fairly uneventful. We
had Thanksgiving sickness.
We did. We were supposed to go back to North Carolina and spend some time with Megan's family and my family, and we did get to do that, but it was delayed a little bit because of some sickness in the house, and we didn't want to take that and spread that around. But we were able to go, and excuse me, the only really tradition that we have in Thanksgiving is we always Thanksgiving morning watch the Thanksgiving Day parade, and then the dog show afterwards. And we didn't watch the dog show this year, but
Parade took forever this year.
it did.
felt
They
like
started
was
it
really
earlier,
long.
and it was pretty long. But I noticed this. The way we ended up watching the parade this year was I turned my hotspot on in the van and watched the parade on my computer in the car because we were traveling as the parade was going on. And so the boys are in the back, semi-watching the parade. I realized how much they really don't care about the parade. But
Especially all the early Broadway shows.
Yeah. But as I was sitting there watching it, normally when we're watching the parade, the parade is on in the background. And we're doing stuff, and there's things happening, and we take a moment to look and see, this dance is going on or whatever. But when you're just driving and you have nothing to do but listen or glance at the
Drone.
parade every now and then, I was like, my gosh, this is nothing but just promos and
Yeah.
they're just selling stuff. And I was like, this is terrible. Like, I really didn't enjoy it as much.
Drew Holcomb performed. He was on
Yeah,
the float.
he was.
Order, so.
I love Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. Now, I don't want to get sidetracked here because we could go a long way down this thing. But I think watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, it's like a microcosm of society, and it's an example of how we have totally just cast off restraint now. I mean, the stuff that they have on the Thanksgiving Day Parade, it's like a constant stream. Whatever the latest weird Broadway musical is coming down the pike, it gets full display. And I mean, I'm not going to wax political, but I mean, it's just some crazy stuff.
It is.
now.
It is.
And then, it's just, hey, here's this actor and this actress that's in this crowd. Let's, and here's President Biden. Let's hear what's going on at the White House today. It's just so, oh my gosh.
But this year had a
it's losing it for me.
special holiday announcement by Beyonce.
Oh, I saw that.
It was just promoting something.
I know.
I was like, what?
Thank you.
That's
Yes.
ridiculous. I didn't enjoy it
I
this year.
have never watched the parade.
Really?
Never. I watched one time, I think in grad school, one of my schools associated with at one point was on it, and I watched that 5 minutes. That was it.
Well, if you're going to do it, make sure it's just in the background. Don't just sit down and watch it.
Do anything. Hey, on a side note, one of the highlights of my Thanksgiving break this year was that my Florida State Seminoles finished their season undefeated. It was ugly, but it was defeated. That's a big deal for us.
It is. Yeah. Celebrate.
12 games, only 4 of which were probably real games, but still undefeated.
I wasn't even going there. I was going to let you just bask in.
I am basking. I don't care. Although I will tell you this. This is going to get me in trouble with all of our Tennessee people. So if you ever,
Then you might not want to say it.
no, it's cool. They gotta love me.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I was waiting for it. So growing up, part of the whole people always ask me, why are you a Florida State fan if you lived in Tennessee most of your life and everything? And part of it was I've sold on here about why I'm a Florida State fan. But then when we moved to Tennessee, I kind of was Florida State and hung on. And then in '98, Florida State played.
Yes, it was just thrust upon you in your face.
Yes, and then I just got mad at every Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then we
I
lost.
figured it was from a
Right.
a motivation of anger.
Right. And I think I even said in this podcast at one point, like, it's funny. People will say that. Like, that's the first thing, especially around here. If they're a Tennessee fan and they're like, oh, so who do you cheer for? I'll say Florida State. They'll say, we beat you in 1998. That's just the automatic. So,
Yeah.
So Saturday night, I'm watching the football game, and the boys all have friends over playing and stuff, and then they're all going to spend the night. And so one of Everett's friends, who shall remain nameless, and he's a great kid, and he's a Tennessee fan, and he's talking to me about Tennessee football just on and off through this whole game. We were very early in, and he's like, Florida State. We beat y'all in 1998. And I just looked at Leah across the room.
He was
wasn't even born.
His mom and daddy weren't hardly even.
No. And then, so if you didn't follow the game, Florida State's quarterback broke his leg last week. So the second string quarterback is playing, and towards the end of the game, he gets hurt. He gets his bell rung pretty good, and the third string true freshman quarterback comes in, and I'm like, now this is what 1998 was like, because that's the only reason y'all beat. And he didn't care. He didn't. I'm trying to make a point. Anyway,
Third string quarterback from Covington, Tennessee, true freshman.
yeah, for Florida State,
Very nice.
White Hoods.
All right, did you get through?
Yeah.
We kind of
Like I said, it was
commandeered-
very uneventful.
We comment
We had a good time.
any good Thanksgiving meal things that you
So Costco moved in literally across the street from my parents' house.
had Costco things.
So basically, it was just all Costco. Like we had all the desserts are Costco stuff. Costco's pumpkin pie is fantastic.
The
It's awesome.
pumpkin pie is approximately the size of this table.
It's massive. Yeah, it is.
It's hilarious.
Huge, absolutely massive.
Do I
But
need to make you a turkey?
turkey.
You can have a real turkey.
I mean, well, no, we don't do turkey at my parents' house because we get turkey everywhere else. So we always do a Boston butt. and ham. So that's what we did, and we've always done that with my family. Always, Boston butt's kind of a tradition that we don't do turkey because we get it so many other places.
With my dad, we do it's a picnic ham or whatever else from Trollinger's, and it's this barbecue place in Paris that's like a gas station barbecue place that's really really good, and we do a picnic ham, and it just like falls apart. It's really good.
The funniest thing though, it feels like it's every Thanksgiving, but even beyond. We're always trying to now. All of my grandparents are passed away, and so, but that's we all still have those thoughts of Thanksgivings with Grandma and Grandpa, and so there's those certain traditional dishes that we continue to want, but we can't recreate because it's like Grandma did something that she didn't tell us how to make it or whatever, and so there's
lard. It was lard. It had lard.
When in question. Bacon grease.
Had lard.
So my granny's was her macaroni salad, and we continue to try to recreate that, and we continue to fail every year.
Was it never written down anywhere?
Oh, she wrote it down.
She just didn't do what she wrote down.
But there
was some
in
extra
it.
special.
Yep. My grandma did a cherry yum yum, and again.
Cherry yum yum.
Have you ever had cherry yum yum? You know what a cherry yum yum is?
No one else knows what it is.
I don't know.
It was only named that way at their house.
You need to define it so I could figure it out.
It was basically, the bottom was just a layer of graham cracker, and then there was like this cream something, and that's what we can't figure out is what she did in the cream.
Lard.
But I think I think that I've narrowed it down to it's some kind. It's like
Cool
whipped
Whip?
cream. It's Cool whipped cream, but I think her recipe just says that, and then it has something else in it too. But that's not it. We've done her recipe, and it's not it. I think it's Bavarian cream. I think that's what's in it, and so we're still trying to figure that out, recreate.
Maybe it's pudding.
Maybe it might be pudding.
The pudding,
but it's like this layers of stuff with graham crackers and the sauce, and then the cream stuff, and then the cherries on top, and so
Cherry yum yum.
cherry yum yum.
That's what we call
just
it.
a funny thing.
Here we got your cherry yum yum. Here we got your strawberry yum yum. We got your sweet potato yum yum.
It's such a funny name.
Yeah, we better move on.
Yeah, Christmas anticipatory traditions here. What's coming up for? I started, so I'm not going to start this one. So.
Our biggest one is a Christmas Eve breakfast, which it actually won't be on Christmas Eve for us this year because Christmas Eve is on a Sunday morning, and there are 3 of us that are that are on staff somewhere, either preaching or leading worship or whatever else in our family. So. But Melody's family has done Christmas Eve breakfast at Casey Jones Village, which is a restaurant in Jackson for close to 40 years. And it's a really kind of a Jackson tradition. There will be lines out the building. I mean, like they go, it reminds you of like they would even say that Cracker Barrel stole all their ideas from them. So anyway, it's got an old soda shop inside. It's a country store inside. And so the line wraps through the store and then out the building, and it will be that way from 5 a.m. until 11 o'clock. And so we go, all of us, which is like 20-something people, maybe 30-something at times, and usually Melody and her siblings go early and wait in line, and as they get close to the end, then they call all of us, and we run over and then go. And that's one of the big family traditions for us, and it's a lot of fun. We see all kinds of people. I'll see part of his family, Austin's family is usually there. I mean, it has been a family tradition for a long. I see one of my college roommates there every year. He and his family are there doing breakfast. So again, it's kind of one of those things. If I don't see Jay anywhere else throughout the year, I know that I'll see him, that morning or whatever else. And so. That's one of our big traditions that
you're not doing it, or you're doing it on
we are doing it this year, but we will do it on Saturday instead of on Sunday because
means you won't have to wait in line as long.
We won't have to wait in line, but we have to pay more. So because they kind of do a special on Christmas Eve. So anyway, but we have a lot of fun and we really enjoy it. If you're ever through Jackson, it's a great place to eat. So right there on the interstate, exit 80. So yep.
I don't know. We talked about several of these in another episode. Most of our holiday traditions revolve around food as far as our nuclear family. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not a tradition. I get to my mom's birthday and birthday and Mother's Day gift. I gave her tickets to see Andrew Peterson, Behold the Lamb of God, and I'm going next Monday. And I haven't seen that live.
Yeah,
and
I thought about
one of my
that.
favorite things. So I'm really
where
looking
is
forward to that at the Ryman.
It's Roman. Okay.
So
I thought about that
that'll be fun.
while Hannah was singing "Labor of Love." I was thinking, oh, he's going to see this live. I'm looking forward for you to do that.
And I would shameless plug, like if you're out there and you're looking for Christmas music, it's Andrew Peterson, Behold the Lamb of God. It's an album, and it really mostly focuses on Old Testament prophecy, everything leading up to the birth of Christ. And man, it's some incredible music. 50 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
So worth listening, and listen in order when you can pay attention.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a non-answer answer. I'm sure we'll talk more about Christmas traditions as we go along.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we got a bunch.
Yeah.
we do all kinds of, and I feel like we're always creating traditions and new things. And I mean, some of the basic ones for us is I mean, we love to do it with the boys, just get in the car and drive around and look at Christmas lights. I mean, we literally will do that 5 or 6 times over the next month. Just go and enjoy that, and figure out the houses that we like to go back to, and because they really lit it up. So we like doing that, and we do. I remember one thing that I've tried to recreate for my kids, and hopefully they'll continue to enjoy it and appreciate it over time, because I know I did not appreciate this whenever I was young. But my grandfather, every time we would go, we would always get together with our extended family at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and we'd kind of do that time. But you got all these gajillion toys and presents ready to be opened, and I don't know about y'all, but my grandma, we had the stockings. My grandma's stockings were always apples, oranges, nuts, and like those were the stockings were. So we always had to open them first,
Real things.
Mm-hmm.
even though we really didn't care about those because they weren't stuff we really wanted. So we would just get rid of them without. So we would open our stockings, but then after we'd open our stockings, we would all sit before we could open any presents, anything was passed out. We would read the birth story from Luke, and initially when I was growing up, that was kind of one of those things of, okay, let's hurry up and get through this.
Yeah.
Because we're ready to get to the presents. And I think my kids are probably that way right now too. It's kind of like, okay, why are we doing this again, Dad? We read this last year. We know what it says. But the more that I have grown and I look back at that time and it, I can think about that as a sweet time that we sat and we read the Christmas story. We read the birth story from Scripture, and it continued to focus us. And my grandpa was, incredible man of God that continued to focus and point our family to what this really is. And that's one of the things. Now my grandpa's passed, I can still hear his voice reading that story, and I love
it
that.
Came about in those days.
Yeah, so that's something that we continue to do with our family, and I love. For us, it has genuinely become a Christmas tradition of coming Christmas Eve to do the Christmas Eve candlelight service. And I think some of it for my kids goes back to 3 years ago?
The snow.
that when we had the Christmas Eve and you weren't here yet.
No, he wasn't here yet.
Time.
I mean, we started and it was flurrying, and we got done 45 minutes later. There were 4 inches on the ground.
Well, we do it at the same time. And obviously, I'm just up the road, and so we experienced the very same thing. It's like nothing, and then you go out. It's like, can I get home?
We had people that didn't get
not.
home. I mean, Jason had to park on Chapman Highway.
Yeah, we had to
walk
park
into
across
his
the street.
neighborhood. So
Yeah, but I mean, you were coming from out of town.
Yes.
And we kept kind of talking back and forth. How's the weather look? And I was like, well, it looks fine. There's absolutely nothing here. So we decided to go ahead and do it. And then lo and behold, my favorite part of that, though, was, and Roman and Preston will talk about this every time we go to Christmas Eve service now. And whenever of course, we had to park across the street from Chapman, walk across Chapman, walk all the way through my neighborhood. None of us were dressed in winter clothes because we were just going to a Christmas Eve service.
And you never dress in winter clothes.
That's true. I know. I did wear jeans that night. But Megan's pregnant with Jackson. Tatum is really young. And so I literally, we're walking through the neighborhood. I pulled Tatum into my jacket, took my jacket off, wrapped it up in him. So we're walking, and we get halfway through my neighborhood, and Roman is he's just crying. He's like, are we going to even make it? And Preston.
It's like you're crossing the frontier.
Preston, if you know Preston, this totally makes sense for his personality. He's walking through the
I
neighborhood.
hear wolves, Dad.
All of a sudden, Preston's like, we're going to die. We're going to die. It was the funniest. And then, of course, we lost power, and, oh, man, it was quite an experience of a Christmas Eve a couple years ago. And so, anyway, that's
You
kind of a
realize
little
when
fun
your
story.
kids are going to retell that story when they're adults, it's going to be like an 8-mile journey,
Right.
Yeah.
in slippers and shorts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Up a mountain.
Wolves howling in the distance.
Yeah,
That was the last time that we did not have a 4-wheel drive vehicle at my house. So anyway,
Yeah, it was fun, though.
yep.
So, some of the things again are like retrospective traditions that we don't do anymore that I kind of miss. One of the things that we've always done, well, a couple things I'm wanting to include you all in, if you can do it coming up, is some lights and things that we do up in Kingsport. And on Christmas Eve, we'll go with Christmas Eve breakfast. The guys in the group, the guys in the family, and it's been a revolving door over the years, gather at Cracker Barrel at like 7:00 on whatever Christmas Eve is, and we eat a big breakfast and laugh and cut up, and then we go shopping. Usually we've reserved all of the stocking stuffers for that day, and we'll hit a Sam's. If we're near a Sam's, we'll go to a Walmart. And it's like, gum and chocolates and stuff like that you put in stockings. And there's been a time or two when I've procrastinated, and it's like, I got to go find something decent for Paige. And those are fun. But we several of us end up going around together, and we'll pile in, and everybody's got their own shopping cart, and they're going through and getting their own stuff. One of the funniest things, real quick, and we talked about this Thanksgiving, because the kids think this is hilarious. So this was like, I can't remember if we even had kids at this time. I think we maybe had kids, but my cousin and I, who are close, we're basically more like brothers than cousins. And
That's my brother cousin.
yeah, and
He's from Alabama.
that's where I come from. So we had gone post Cracker Barrel. We had gone to get a Starbucks, and we both had Starbucks coffee. I'm driving. We both have our cups in the thing, and we're drinking and going into the store, and then come back out and drinking again, driving down the road. At some point, I basically had finished mine off. Well, no, I would come down to the end, and it was like down to where it's cold, and it's like I'm done with it now because I'm not going to drink this and make myself sick. Well, Jeff had mistakenly picked up my cup. He had reached over and grabbed my Starbucks cup, and it was probably a mocha or something. And he decides he's going to polish it off. And so he's got my coffee, and he polishes it off, and then of course all the chocolate and the stuff that got on the lid, he's licking it off. My coffee. And I look at him and I go, brother, that was mine. I thought he was going to throw up in the floorboard of the car because he just completely licked the hound out of the coffee that I had been drinking most of the morning. It was hilarious. And the kids think it's hilarious. So anyway, then we, this is no more because my parents have gone. My cousin's parents, my aunt and uncle are to the point where they don't do a lot anymore than get out. So we used to have a Christmas Day breakfast that included fried oysters. We would do fried oysters and then an array of different other breakfast things, biscuits and gravy, eggs, the normal stuff. But fried oysters, for whatever reason, became
Fried
part
oysters for breakfast?
Yeah. I know it's weird, but it was good. It was really good. If you like oysters.
Fried oysters for dinner.
It was fun. It was good. And then Paige's family came over later in the day on Christmas Day, and now with the passing of her aunt and uncle over the past year. Mama Marie's still with us. And so her cousin, and his family will be up for Christmas Day. But that's our tradition. One Christmas Day, we decided to leave. We were going to Disney, and we celebrated. We'd done all the aforementioned things that I just said. It got to be about 6:00. We were leaving for Disney the next day, and we were like, why don't we just leave now? Got in the car. Paige, Ellie, and I got everything in the car, hit the road about 8:00, drove we were going to drive until I couldn't drive anymore, but that ended up being all the way to the place we were staying. I got there at 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
You talk about the best time to drive on Christmas.
Yep.
We didn't hit any kind of traffic. It was weird. And we called from the gatehouse, and they're like, they won't let us in. We woke everybody up, and they're like, you're here. That was fun. Anyway.
That's fun.
All right. So real quick, a couple of things coming up that we want people to know that's happening here at First Baptist Seymour. And I think we probably need to let Austin talk about the musical Christmas extravaganza.
The cantata.
Don't call it a
He asked me yesterday why.
Yeah, he came to me too. He's like, I got a beef to pick with Austin. Why does he not want to call it a cantata?
Yeah. Should I explain that?
I don't know.
Can you do it in like 30 seconds?
No, I can't do it. I can't do anything in 30 seconds. Yeah, no, our Christmas program is coming up. Yeah, mark your calendars. Saturday night, December 16th. Sunday morning, December 17th. So we just do it twice. We have several people who've joined us to sing for this that aren't normally in the choir. And so, and of course, we are a choir-driven church. And so one of kind of our characteristics of our worship language. And so it's fun to be able to invest a little extra energy and stuff in that. It is not geared towards the church member just having a fun time and enjoying some Christmas music. That's really not what we're shooting for. The goal is to clearly present the gospel. And so everything that we work on and all the effort and energy is really just to have an outreach event that people will come to. And so I say that to say that for if you attend Seymour First Baptist, it would be easy to think that this is like a Christmas gift to you or something like that. But that's really not what it is. Mm-hmm. It is geared for you to invite people. And so you hear us. We put out poster on the road. We are advertising it all the time. We have all these thousands of invite cards. Yesterday we were talking about that, and that's because we want to capitalize on the fact that there are numerous people who will come to this kind of thing that won't necessarily just come to church. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. And I think if I can get the average church member, church attender to buy into that concept, that this is not something to come and enjoy. It is something to invite people to. This is something that you say to your neighbor, hey, I'm going on this Saturday night. Will you come with me? That is really what we're shooting for. It is a gospel presentation, and so that's part of why we don't call it a Christmas cantata. Mm-hmm. That's because it is just we want to break down some of those preconceived notions, those barriers. We don't do a big show. There's not a lot of lights and flash and stuff like that. It is a lot of music, but the point is for that the average person who walks in, who comes to this, but won't necessarily just come to church, that they clearly hear what the point of Christmas is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, and we all know, and that kind of goes back to where you're kind of starting to kick the bush. It is a foregone conclusion on some level that people will attend church at Christmas time that don't attend church other times. And so our job, I maybe you could speak to that more, Corey, but I've always felt like in my ministry, my job this month, is to be as clear about what Christmas is about as possible, and not, it sounds bad, but not to be cliche about that.
I think that's exactly right. I mean, like, and to me, that's why I joke around with the guys that there's only about 3 or 4 different Christmas series that I preach, because outside of that, it's a stretch to try to make the Christmas story fit something creative or fun. And so we want the Christmas story is about God's love and that Christ came to earth so that we can be redeemed and put into a right relationship with God and be forgiven and all those things. And so it is a great opportunity for people to hear that clearly, hopefully, maybe for the first time. And then you pair that with people are open to invitations to church on during the Christmas season. And so what I would say is, yes, the Christmas musical, great chance to hear the gospel, to invite people. Yes, the candlelight service on Christmas Eve. Yes, Sunday morning. People are open to coming, and but they don't often come without a personal invite.
Mm-hmm.
And so take advantage of the little cards. I mean, like, simple and easy. Stick them in your pocket. Carry them to neighbors or coworkers or family or friends. And even with that, say, hey, this is going on these 2 days, but if you would like to come on a regular Sunday morning, just let me know. I'll pick you up, or I'll meet you at the door, or I'll meet you in the parking lot, or whatever it may be, and take advantage of a time where people are open to church, and then hopefully in that they're going to hear clearly what Christmas is about. We will do our best every time that we are together to help people clearly understand what Christmas is about. Again, I look around the table and think about our staff, and then beyond that, we have a lot of people that love Christmas at our church. But the reality is we love Christmas because of what it is about, not about a tree or the food or the lights. And we love all those things that go along with it, but mostly because those things all point us back to a God who loves us and was willing to send his son to the world for us. And so that I think that's really what I would encourage this Christmas season is to take advantage of whatever opportunity is there to invite friends and loved ones, neighbors, to come and to hear the Christmas story clearly. And again, I think that's the challenge for us, is to make sure that we present it clearly, and that we don't get so caught up in all the commercialism that we commercialize what's going on here. We want to make it fun and enjoyable. I mean, who didn't enjoy Captain Sticky yesterday, right? But we want to make it fun and enjoyable. But in the heart of it, we want it to come down to understanding what Christmas is about. And again, I like the idea of where we're going with our sermon series this year. Is it's real people. That Christmas it came about through real people, and those people were experiencing real things, real questions, real emotions, all of those types of things. And in the middle of that, Jesus comes and changes everything from that point forward. And so hopefully, again, we encourage you to be here on Sunday mornings. Christmas is often a very busy time of year, but I want to encourage you to be here on Sunday mornings, and then encourage you to take advantage and to try to invite people, offer to help them in any way you can to break down the barriers for people to be able to hear the true meaning of Christmas this year.
Yeah, good deal. December 16th.
At night at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. 17th at 10:15.
Yeah, and
normal.
Then, like you say, Sunday morning.
Christmas Eve is different. No Sunday school Christmas Eve. Yeah. No.
And then our Christmas Eve service is another great opportunity to have, because we will have plenty of people who will show up to that won't come on a Sunday morning. So invite folks to that and make that part of your tradition, 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
Yeah, so going to be good. And we thank you for tuning in to our hodgepodge episode of Thanksgiving and Christmas traditions. And we appreciate you as always. If something we said caused you to question, which I'm sure there probably was, feel free to reach out to us at the email that you're about to listen to and hear. We'll be happy to respond and get back to you. Again, thanks you as always for listening. And we hope that you will really enjoy the next few weeks. Don't let Christmas come. Let me say this. Don't let Christmas come and you not take time to rest and enjoy and, see the pretty lights and spend time with those that you love. And you don't want to wake up on, December 26th and it's like it's gone and I missed it. So embrace. And that's all. Say bye, fellas.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Seymour from the Front Pew. Our sole desire for this podcast is to glorify God by educating and encouraging His body. If you would like to learn more about anything you've heard today, feel free to reach out by email at staff@seymourfbc.org or by visiting our website at seymourfbc.org. If you're located near our community and do not have a church home, come worship with us at 10:15 a.m. on Sunday morning. Until then, we pray God's richest blessings on you and yours as you love God, love others, make disciples, and live the life.